talking to, I don't know how many were there, a couple thousand people. So thank you for waiting. My apologies.
You don't need to apologize.
No. Yes, I do.
You're all that.
Yes, I do, because I know Portland is a city that's always on time.
Right on schedule.
And so I wasn't supposed to say anything, but can I say a couple of things? Yeah. We can do this. Well, you know, we're living in a historic moment. I really believe this. I'm very excited about what's happening. And if you could come with me across the country, and I think I can fit most of you in the van, you would see just the most incredible thing going on right now. Not just in the Portlands and the Berkeleys and the all the usual suspects, but in small towns and villages. These little occupies, 50 people, 100 people. There's a town there where I live in Michigan. They've got maybe 10,000 people in the entire area. They had 100 people out there on Saturday. That's 1% of the population of that small town. Or in other words, if we had a national demonstration on the mall in Washington, D.C., that'd be 3 million people. And this was in a conservative small town in southwestern Michigan. So it's like Saturday night I was in a small town, Nevada City. You know where this is? Last week they told me they have 400 people that occupy Grass Valley. And I'm like, wow, this has spread. This has spread with no organization, no leader, no spokesperson, no dues you have to pay. It's just been, but it had to happen, right? Because
hallelujah.
Eventually people were going to say enough. And how many of us have been saying for how long, when are people going to say enough is enough, right? And I knew it would just take a spark, just for something to happen. And I've been down at Occupy Wall Street. I've been down there probably about a dozen times now in the last 6 weeks in New York City. And this is a movement that cannot be stopped because it affects so many people. And I was telling the media that were here a few minutes ago, Coin TV, or was that what they're called? Or, yeah, it was one of them. And KG something.
KGW.
Right. It's like they're like, who organized this? I'm saying, well, there's that Wells Fargo building down there. They organized it. You can just throw so many people out of their homes, or have them living in fear of foreclosure, and that is millions are doing. 50 million people with no health insurance, 46 million living in official poverty, right? 40 million adults who are functional illiterates in this country now. We have 40 million adults who cannot read and write above a 4th grade level. That's the country that we have. That's the country that they've created through their greed. And it was sooner or later, the karma was going to come back to them, because they couldn't just stop with being just like simple greedy people. They just had to keep having more and more. They had to invent schemes on Wall Street to figure out how to rig the casino. How can we get the pension funds of people? How can we suck their 401ks? How can we, because we just don't have enough with the billions we already have. We got to have more. And they were like addicts, like crack addicts. They couldn't get enough of it. And then sooner or later, the marshal rode into town, the people. And that's what's happening right now. The people are not going to tolerate this any longer. Now, I know for those of you who are more disciplined and have numerous degrees and are wondering, well, what's the end game here? What's the goal? What are the goals of this group? What are they doing? They're just camping out downtown Portland. Let me just say this. Number one, this had to start somewhere. We're only in we're still only been 6 weeks old. Yeah. This movement. The goals will happen. The agenda will take place. The political force of will happen, like a tsunami. Trust me on this, all right? But it has to start first, right? And so they've already had a number of incredible victories. Number one, this movement, I mean, it's changed the national discussion. The debate has changed. When's the last time you heard them talking about the debt ceiling? Right? Or the deficit? It's all gone now, right? This is what they talk about. They got even Boehner today. Even Boehner had to use Obama's words when he was asked about it today. John Boehner says, Yes, I think the Occupy movement, expresses the frustrations of people. It's like, wow. That took real balls to say that. Considering you helped to cause the frustration. And let me tell you, it ain't frustration anymore. You should have dealt with it when it was just frustration. So it's too late now. They could have, because so much of the middle class supported them, supported capitalism, supported the Horatio Alger thing of someday, yes, anybody in America can make it. Anybody can be president. And they had people believing that for so long. They should have just went, what was the game where you say, okay, I'm out. I can't remember the game show now. But it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? That's what it was. And you go, I don't want to go to the next level. I'm happy with my $250,000 that I've already won. And they should have been happy. They should have been happy after they foreclosed on the first 1 million homes. They should have went, okay, wow, that was friggin' cool. We have just destroyed the lives of 1 million people and chopped up their mortgages and sold them off, bundled them, put them into derivatives, and then took bets out against them. They betted. The same banks that did these mortgages betted that the mortgages would fail. They had a different department that betted on, because who better would know that it would all come collapsing down than them, because they created the foundation of it. Just utter sheer evil genius. And they should have taken the money and run after the first million foreclosures. Then it went to 2 million. Then it went to 3 million. Then it went to 4 million. Right now, tonight, 10 million American homes. 10 million are either in foreclosure, facing foreclosure, or underwater and heading toward foreclosure. This is, if they don't understand the panic that will take place and the collapse of their way of life, then they are completely clueless. Because you cannot throw 10 million families out on the curb. You may be able to punk on the poor like you've always done. Those who have never been able to be a have, never able to have their own home, never able to send their kids to a good school. So they're already depressed and they understand how the fix is in for them. But now you've done it to the people who voted for your Republican politicians. You've done it to the middle class. You've done it to the people who've had these things, and now you want to take it from them? And you think they're just going to go away? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? They've completely overplayed their hand. And they have created their own doom. So when Coin with a K TV asked me who organized this, that's why I said Wells Fargo, Citibank, Chase, and all the rest of corporate America, and the 400 Americans who now have more wealth than 150 million Americans combined. 400. Absolutely insane. And so, anyways, I gotta just finish up here because I wasn't supposed to talk.
We love you to